Hello and welcome back to the old golden chat. Bit of a different one for everyone today. You got me and Liam in person for a change. You know, we do actually see each other on the real world rather than just on social media. We're just going to do a very quick match preview before Grimsby because, well, the time is 11 o'clock. We kick off in roughly about 2 hours' time. Wolves face Grimsby at
Blundell Park.
It's going to be a tricky fixture. I think a lot of people are going to underestimate this fixture.
Yeah.
Me and Liam have just been doing the back work into looking at how Grimsby set up and recent fixtures and results. And let's put it this way: I didn't realise the promise for Wolves was going to be as big as what it was because of recent results for Grimsby. We've just had a look at where Wolves are currently sitting on the market at about 1.45 for anyone who does decimal betting. Hard game, and it's one where I think Rob Edwards is obviously going to have to be brave. He's going to have to set up strong. What do you think, Lou?
Yeah, you look at Grimsby at Blundell Park.
Yeah, so in the last 10 games, they've won 7, drew 3 with some really impressive results. They drew 2-2 with Milton Keynes, who I thought was going to absolutely hold that league. There was multiple clean sheets on there, weren't there?
They've got a manager that was a defender for Crewe. He knows League 1 and 2. It's going to be a hard to beat team. So we just need to go and express ourselves and just get on the ball and just have players that are going to try and create opportunities for us, as simple as. I think you know what they're going to be like, looking at corners and goal kicks are going to be in the centre halves. If Andy Cook plays up front for them, they're going to be targeting him in the air. So we know what they're going to be about. Can't be giving needless free kicks away in a dangerous area where they can just be pointing into the box. We need to be on it from the get-go. Like we were against Shrewsbury, we was on it straight away, weren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, do you know what? I agree. And then, like, the more I look at it and the more that they set up, so they set up in like a 4-1-4-1 formation. If they start putting 10 men behind the ball, Wolves have got to try and play completely different to how we've played all season. By being a counter-attacking team, we've got to go and press. We've got to go and attack. We've got to go and be aggressive. Ironically, quite similar to the way that we was against Shrewsbury. I think the only difference was we arguably had a bit more quality, and Shrewsbury, despite being in
League 2,
I mean, regardless, the way that we played against Shrewsbury was aggressive and on the front foot and making sure that we really got into Shrewsbury. Obviously,
League 2.
League 2. And they were a struggling team. In all fairness, they were a struggling team. And we had, whether he's here or whether he's not, Strand Larson, who is still a very good quality striker, especially scoring against like League 2 teams, is like a walk in the park for him.
Yeah.
Rob's got to settle right today, and that is the biggest thing about this.
And the players have to be brave, no hiding, no blaming the pitch. That excuse goes out the window straight away. We need a result, we need a win. They need to get at it straight away.
Yeah, I think the setup's crucial today, 100%.
Yeah.
If they're going to sit in the 4-1-4-1 formation and they're predominantly known for being hard to beat, you know that we're going to have to go and attack and be aggressive. And although it didn't work against the Chelsea team, I am almost certain that we need to be playing a forward and back. If we try and sit tight against Grimsby today, they're going to have a laugh. They're going to have a right easy game. Let's cast our mind back only a few months ago. Shout out to Callum Lee, who's big Man United fan, one of my mates. I absolutely wound him up relentlessly when Cunha missed the penalty and Grimsby beat Manchester United in the Carabao Cup. These aren't a team who haven't scalped one of the bigger teams in the country already. Like, Grimsby are going to come for us today, unfortunately. They're not going to be scared. They're going to be looking at some of the other results that have happened, like Mansfield beating Burnley yesterday, and they're going to really sink their teeth. It's a home game for them. Their fans are going to be rolled up for it. Yeah. Wolves have got to be brave. Wolves have got to be aggressive. Rob's got to set it up right. And please to God, go and win, because there is a way that I don't want to say it because Liam's the optimist and I'm very much the pessimistic type. But there is a way that we are 2 games away from Wembley, and that's fact.
Just 2 in. If we win this one in the 5th round, 5th and quarters, you're on the way to the semi-finals, isn't you? So not close.
Seems to be, and I don't want to say that we're going to get to Wembley because we can't even lace up against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Right, let's talk about Wolves. We spoke about Grimsby.
Yeah.
Obviously a very poor showing against Nottingham Forest the other day. Arguably worse than the Chelsea game, even though we conceded 3 against Chelsea. Yeah. if he wasn't playing such a poor team and a team who lacked confidence, for any other team would have absolutely murdered us on Wednesday night. So for me, you have to be brave. I know I've already said it a million times, but you've got to have 4 at the back. For me personally, like I don't see a world where we sit in a 5 at the back against Grimsby and wait for them to come out and break shape against us. They're not going to do it. As Liam's already said, the manager is well renowned for being hard to beat. He's a defensive manager. He's not going to break ranks. But he'll happily take us to extra time penalties. Yeah. He will happily do that against Wolves today. And in that respect, people need to forget about this 5 at the back mentality. We need to go and show the reason why 4 at the back could be the way forward next year. What do you think, Matt?
Personally, I would like to see a back 4. I just don't know if Rob Edwards still have it in him to do it, especially after we started. I know it was a different team against Chelsea, but he's already had a go at starting it. I can see a world where he sticks to his back 5 and he tries to play it safe. And I'm not saying that's the formation I'd want to go with, but picking my formation for today, I can't see him changing from a back 5. I don't know what combinations he'd have as wingers to try and change it from a back 4, because I don't know if we've got the options. So I do think Rob stays with a back 5, yeah.
So this is how we think Rob Edwards should absolutely line up against Grimsby. I've gone with a 4 at the back. There's obviously changes. And despite me saying that multiple times, I don't want to see Jackson Thatcher out of Wolves shirt again. It's an FA Cup game, and you've got to play different players and give players a chance to impress. I've gone with Sam Johnston in goal. I obviously think that Jose Sarr has been very decent.
Yeah,
should I say?
I wouldn't say there's any critics majorly at him. I think he's been sold short, hasn't he, with the chances that he's been against him, yeah.
Yeah. So. You've got to give Johnston a go. It's the FA Cup and you're against a lesser team, which I probably shouldn't say that before we go and get spanked by him. But yeah, I've gone with Johnston in goal, Tachua, Bueno, Krejci, Moller Wolf. Mosquera, I love Mosquera to bits, but he's far too erratic to play it against a League 2 team. You want to go 4 at the back, he's the one who obviously has to make that sacrifice for me. Moller Wolf, I brought him in at left back. He needs a chance. I think if he goes and gets a couple of assists, then he's got to be starting to push for that first team berth, because Hugo Bueno's not impressing me. I said it on this week's podcast. He's not impressing me, and I don't think he handled the Forest game very well. That's it for me. Moller Wolf at left back. 3-man midfield, gives you a rest. If Andre's fit enough to play, get him in just because, he hasn't played in a few weeks. Angel Gomez, give him the starts because he has been one of our more progressive players. And if we are going to break down that Grimsby team, he's the one who's going to drive through the middle and make things happen for Wolves for me. Bellegarde, another one who has been out for a while with injury, needs game time. And if there's someone who, during the last season and a half, has been able to kind of bring some energy and bring a different way of attacking for Wolves, then probably Bellegarde has to play. Rodrigo on the right, there's no doubt in my mind that if Rodrigo starts, he's probably going to score. He always tends to do quite well in the cup game for some reason. Armstrong, I would prefer him as a striker, to be honest, but we don't have any other wingers. So Armstrong on the wing with Holland.
Yeah.
So that is my team for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
Yeah, I've got to say, I like your formation, Dan, to be fair. A back 4 gives us a load of options, because if we have got the ball, it gives us more attacking players to pass forward to. I think Angel Gomez and Bellegarde and Andre, they're neat and tidy on the ball, aren't they? So that I think they'll have some space. Wolf and Tachua can get it wide. So yeah, I like Dan's setup. I've gone more so that what I think Rob Edwards might do, and I agree with Dan. I think Sam Johnson keeps his spot in the FA Cup. Also, he's quite, he's played a few times in the Championship, etc., hasn't he? So he might know what it's going to be about, going away to teams that I'm going to sit behind and to keep pointing it into the box. My back 3, again, like Dan, I'll take out Mosquera. I just don't want the game to be emotional and erratic. I want us to try and stay as calm as possible. If he's getting into the faces of Grimsby, I don't think that's the way I'd want to go about it, because we don't want their home crowd getting...
He's a red card, right?
Yeah, especially with no VAR. So, yeah, I think Doherty... I've moved Santi Breno to the left. I feel like Krejci was giving the ball away far too much Granted, there's not much in front of him, but I want to see what he's like in the middle, where he has got extra options to pass that ball out wide to Doherty and Santi. I think Rob will stick to the back five, just because if we have got the ball, I think Moller Wolf and Rodrigo will be so high up, it'll be like a front four at times. And it'll still give us the flat platform of the back three to just sit there and mop up and tidy up. Angel Gomez will be in there just to keep the ball nipping and moving. It's going to be a bobbly pitch. You need players that can control the ball. That's probably why I didn't go with Dechua, because if you can't control the ball like the Molineux, I don't know what chance he's got at Blundell Park with if it's been bouncy and bobbly and this, that and the other. So that's why I probably didn't go for him. Putting Bellegarde in there, I literally did not know who to put in with Angel Gomez. Bellegarde for me is the one I think that, again, he needs to get fit. He needs to have a big run out. If they do go man for man, he's the type of player that's going to beat his man with the ball. So if they go man for man, I want players in there that are comfortable to receive the ball and turn and take someone on and give it. The more you move that ball today, the more they're going to get a bit more tired, aren't they? So if we can try and move it as quick as possible, it's going to help us. I don't want Joe Gomez in there just because I don't want too many free kicks being given away. If they have got Andy Cook up front and they're quite physical, they're going to be helping for free kicks and corners and throwing. So I'm hoping that if we try and limit that, might give us the best chance, because at the end of the day, we need to do the best chance to win it. We need to try and win this game. I put Mane in there. I think we need a match winner. He's the only one in that team. I know we need to rest, but at the end of the day, if he is going to be moving to Liverpool, etc., what he's been looking at in the week, he's got to try and prove it again and show up again for me. So I'd put him in there. He's the only one that I think if he brings a few fouls and they get a few cards, then they start to ask questions then about what they can do to try and stop him. I'll just hope the bobbly pitch helps him out and it don't, deter his little performance, because we don't want his confidence to go. But if we can get him on the ball, it might give space to other players around him. Armstrong stays, his work rate's good. I know I've said before that everyone should be working on, but he actually sprints to win the ball down. He looks energetic, he looks confident. I put him in there. I think if he gets a chance, he's going to bury it today. Same for Rodrigo. I think he can score goals. He's proved it. Tolu has to start, because I think we need that focal point. They're going to be pressing us hard at the pitch, aren't they? If you're trying to play it around and we're getting a bit stuck, we need to go and hit him. I want Adam Armstrong to get a little bit closer to him, because against Forest, he was hitting it towards Tolu. There was no one around him. The ball was either going over his head or he was trying to hold it up and losing it. He had no one to try and lay it off to, so I'm hoping that Armstrong can get in and around him. Any flick-ons and get him in and get half a chance. And I think at half-time, we need to be 1-0 up, in my opinion. I think the later it's 0-0, the more they're going to feel like they can get it, the more edgy our team can get.
Yeah, if they're solid at the back, it's going to be one of those games where we don't want to... We don't want to go into this game with, 20 minutes left and trying to bring on substitutions that we don't have, because we both agree that we're going to go quite strong. I think Rob Edwards will go strong. He did against Shrewsbury, so I don't see why he wouldn't do it now. Like I say, it's a hard one to call today.
Yeah.
Shall we go for a score prediction and leave it at that?
Yeah. I'm going to say 2-0 Wolves. I think we'll score first. I think they'll put the pressure on us, and then we might just counter and get a second goal. I think Rodrigo and Tolo get the goals for us.
I'm really not playing between my head and my heart. So my crew mate, shout out to Luke. I know he tends to watch the videos as well. He's a blue nose, unfortunately. They've got Leeds today, and he's very good at betting. And he's looking at that Wolves. He's chucking loads on Wolves to win. And I'm trying to say to him, I'm so against doing that, because they just look like a team who we're going to struggle to break down. My head is telling me, be careful, because this can get to penalties. But I'll go with a Wolves win. This is a League Two team, and I'm struggling here. We'll go with a 1-0 Wolves win.
I'll take that. Take any win. It's any win possible. Just want to get through.
The only news, we need to win this game comfortably, like we did against Shrewsbury. Go and get some form back. And I know we've got Arsenal next. We'll go and attack some of the teams who are coming up. We've got a Midlands derby coming up. So let's see how today goes. We will have a podcast out for you either Monday or Tuesday this week. Probably Mondays. Make sure you check in with the channel, check on our YouTube and our Spotify. It'll be me, you and Nat, won't it? We're going to try and
So,
record
yeah.
tonight. So if we do lose, then, yeah,
Be quite emotional if we lose.
you will be.
We'll be quite raw.
I've already just said I was expecting it to get to penalties anyways. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing and listening. And we look forward to seeing what you have to say in the comments. Get your score predictions down below. See you next week.